far too often when we start learning all the basics, like a jab or a cross, now it's time to take it to the next level. And a lot of people, they get stuck in their ways because they get too complacent. Meaning, if they throw a jab, right, that's all they throw. Like, there's no evolution because they know how to throw a good jab and then they're hitting people with it. But now, to take it further into your kickboxing journey, you have to add a move to that within the move. Kind of like Inception a little bit, but I'll show you what I mean in this video. All right, guys, welcome back to Sicat Kickboxing Club. Welcome back to my channel. My name's Chris. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. Like this video only if you get value out of it, and share this video with anyone that wants to learn the art of kickboxing. I've been doing this for over decades, and I feel like you can really get a lot of learning and value out of this video to enhance, if that's what you wanted to do, is pursue maybe a competition, or maybe just to do it to get healthy and for your wellness. All right, and also go check out my podcast, because I have a lot of high-level fighters over there that give tips. I have practitioners, hobbyists, your everyday hobbyists, to give you tips on how you can get better and a self-improvement kind of way, and give you confidence to pursue your kickboxing journey. All right, let's get right into it. So what I wanted to talk about in this video is complacency, okay? So a lot of people, when they learn, like I was talking about in my intro, when they learn like the jab or even the cross, and I think it's beautiful. Those are the basics, and that's what you should learn. But now it's time to take it a step further, okay? Since you've had that habit, it's almost, like I said, it's a good thing, okay? Don't get it twisted. I'm not saying that you shouldn't do it, but it's almost like you want to stick to the same things every time, and you don't want to add anything any further, because like I said, you got good at it, and then we tend to get complacent and comfortable, okay? So you always want to be learning. You always want to be in like an uncomfortable state, meaning that if you don't know how to, one of the hardest things in life is just to start something over. So like I said, it's kind of like Inception. It's kind of like a move within a move, okay? So this is what I'm talking about. If I throw a jab, right? Boom, right? Boom. And then I have a snappy jab. It could be all sorts of jab too. It could be like an under jab. You could throw it from down here from an angle. You could throw a quick jab. You could throw a feint jab without even throwing a jab, right? So this is just going to be an example. If I throw a jab here, look, I'm gonna go close to the camera here. Look where my head is. It's still where my arm is, okay? That's my determinant to where the whole point of this video is to get my head offline. When I was learning the jab and the cross and all that, I got really, really good. Like my coach gave me all these compliments, right? And he was saying, man, you progressed so bad. And to me, like a kid, it's almost like, well, I mean, I got really, really good. So my ego kind of got to me, and it was almost like I was doing the same things. And that could be a problem. Again, stick to your basics, but you want to do is build up on that. So in this video, I want to show you something simple that relates to that, okay? Because you know, for years I got stuck, and it really stunted my growth when it came to my progress in kickboxing, where I just stick to something because I got really good at it, and then I do the same thing over and over. And trust me, one of my philosophies is like one of the quotes that Bruce Lee said, which I'm pretty sure I'm going to butcher, but he says, he's not scared of the man that, you know, does 10,000 kicks. He's scared of the man that does a kick 10,000 times over. That just means it's repetitions, okay? And I completely abide by that philosophy, but now it's time to add on to what it is that you've learned and got really good at. So again, when I throw a jab, right, look where the jab is. It's directly correlated right here in line with my head. far too often when we're hitting pads, it's without intention, right? If that's your goal, to just move around and hit pads and, you know, practice your basic moves like a jab and a cross or kicks, that's completely fine. Okay, again, it's about your intention. But in this video, now we're taking it a step further, and then when you throw a jab, say if you're hitting mitts with your partner, or if you're even hitting a bag, we just tend to boom, right? Or I'll show you here. Boom, look where the angles are coming from. Even I'll go here ahead so you can see it clearly. Look where the angles are coming from. My head is still online, and then most of fighting, guys, isn't just like you go, I go, you go, I go, right? Like someone's gonna be trying to hit you back, especially in the higher levels. And even in the higher levels, you should know this in the beginning so that you could get prepared for it. So when I throw, boom, right? This is what I'm gonna do now when I'm hitting mitts. And if you want it, this is like if you want to get good at sparring, right? Because again, someone's going to be hitting you back and you don't want to get hit in the face. Like it's almost, you could get knocked out if you're throwing a jab or a two at the same time, and then boom, and then you're knocked out because maybe you're off balance or they just hit you in the right place at the right time. Okay, so with this one, what you're going to start to do is you're going to start to move. Look, your head offline. You see that? Look, you see that? Look now, relating to what I just said, right, where my head is directly in line with my arm. Look, if I'm throwing straight, and that's what most people do. But nowadays when I'm sparring, and trust me guys, it took me a long time to learn this too, but it's very, very important. Again, I got stuck in my ways. So look, now in front of the camera, I'm gonna look, boom. You see that? Look now where my head and my hand is. It's like Frank Shamrock says, it's on like the 12 or 11 o'clock. You want to go 1 o'clock to 11 o'clock. So say if my hand was at 12 o'clock, you want to go at 1 o'clock. You see that? That's a good way of reframing it. And I just want to give credit to Frank Shamrock because I saw this video where I'm like, oh, that made sense a long time ago. And it really put the pieces in place. Same with the two. I'm going to throw a two. Look, this is your regular two. My head's in line. Look. You see that? Look at that space. Now, I know it's not a big space, but I always talk about kickboxing and fighting in general is a game of inches, right? So even if I throw the two, look, I know, you see that? That's a big deal when it comes to fighting. You see, if someone throws, even though I get glazed by it, I mean, by now I'm used to it. And then I could counter back because anytime someone is punching, they're off balance and they're open to an attack. Okay, I'm going to say that again. Anyone, your opponent, whenever they're attacking, they're susceptible. I mean, they're open for a attack. So if someone throws a two, right? There's always a counter there as long as you're able to use your tools and maybe dodge the punch and block the punch right and then go in with a counter. But the whole point of this video, like I was saying in the beginning, just to come in full circle, is that when you throw a jab, take it a step up now and be proactive about it, okay? So when you throw a jab, don't get lazy and just put your head here. Move your head. Look, now I'm offline. Move your head to the side. Again, it seems like it doesn't make a big difference, but it does. Because if they're throwing at a straight line, you're one step ahead. Even, again, you get glazed in the ear, it's not a knockout punch. You still have the whereabouts in your head, since you didn't get hit, to boom, 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 fire back, right? And I wanted to make this video for that. I think it's so important, you know, this is just about angles, but then it's simple angles that you can do to not make you complacent, okay? Again, far too often, we throw here, look, even with the uppercuts, even with teeps, boom, right? Boom, boom, look where my hands are going. But look now, this is how I train now, you know, if I'm hitting mitts or if I'm hitting the bag. Even with the uppercut, slip, boom, my head is offline. If they happen to hit me here, Boom. It's very hard to hit someone and predict where their head is going if you're just throwing straight down the line. That's why it's very important to move your head offline while you're throwing attacks, okay? So the whole point of this video was don't get complacent. Don't just because you have a nice stiff jab, or you know you're throwing your two a different way, try not to throw in a straight line. You have to do now, when you get more into the advanced stages, you have to do it at the same time, simultaneously. Boom, you see that? I'm doing two moves at once pretty much. And again, guys, if you're not quite good at head movement yet, I got a video on that, and all you have to do is watch that video and start repping it out, okay? Practice makes perfect. Iterations, it's all about persistence. And yeah, that's the video for today. And guys, again, if you got value out of this video, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share this